Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to MRCOG courses part 1 online course and very much warm welcome. Let's talk about MRCOG. Today along with our course students, other students have also joined who want to know about MRCOG and who have yet not decided when they want to appear or how things are. And of course, many of the new students also who have joined, they would like to know how the process is. So first, very much welcome to this session. So this session is more about let's talk MRCOG. Rather than it's focused on any particular topic, we are going to talk about everything about MRCOG. We'll start with why MRCOG, why we actually want to do MRCOG and what is the importance, why we are going to spare so much time and finances, whatever is involved for MRCOG, what is the purpose behind it. Then about the how MRCOG. If you have decided after why that I want to pursue MRCOG, then what are the basic steps to start with the process. And then finally, we will talk about the part 1 exam, format, its syllabus, and how we will cover the syllabus, those who are with us. Okay, so we need to ensure your success. That is the focus of MRCOG courses. It makes MRCOG affordable, achievable for everyone. We have 100% pass rate for part 1 exam. So welcome to a sure short success class. Okay, so let's start about the MRCOG. See, it's going to be an interactive session. You can unmute yourself and ask me any question, anywhere if you want. Okay, that does not disturb me. So you can always stop me and ask me wherever you want to ask anything. Okay, so let's start how it is about MRCOG. So dream big, start small, but most of all start. So taking a decision to start itself is a very important thing which you all have done, and that is why you all are here for this session. So dream is of course big. If you look at a bigger perspective, like people who come to me, their first question is, I've heard that part 2 is tough. You have to give so many attempts. You have to do this, that, how many hours. So wait, let's start. I know it's a big dream, but let's start small. Small steps lead to a completion of journey. Okay. But the most important thing is taking a decision to start, because I have seen many students who just wait for 2-3 years, just taking the decision itself. By this time, you would have done your MRCOG, the time you are taking to take a decision. So most of all, start it right now. And I would congratulate you that you have taken that first step, and that is why you all are here. So wish you all the best. Few words about the Royal College. It is a very old college, 1929. And it is the aim is to set standards to improve women's health and clinical practice of obstetrics and gynecology, of course, across the world. So they have a very set standards. That is why it is considered as a gold standard qualification all around the world. Like when you say that you are a member of Royal College or you are a fellow of Royal College, you are looked upon with a huge respect, and people believe, they trust your words, and they believe that you are doing evidence-based practice. So this is the how the Royal College membership helps you and how people look upon you. So let's talk about why MRCOG, right? So first thing is why. What is the vision of RCOG? What is the vision of Royal College? Till now, whatever grooming is done for us, we are basically created as a professionals. We are doctors, we are clinicians, we are worried about our clinical works, how we have to look the patient, how we have to formulate the diagnosis, how we have to formulate the management for the patient. But RCOG looks you from a three-dimensional vision. They look at you as a professional, they look at you as a teacher, they look at you as a researcher, right? Because the dictum is that a clinician cannot only be a clinician, okay? Of course, the role of clinician is important, that you have to look, diagnose the patients, do the management, but simultaneously, how the junior generations will be, how they will be trained. If you are a good teacher, then only you can train your juniors. So being a teacher is a part of a clinician only. Then researcher, how the things will come up. So they need a researcher attitude also. So 3 dimensions. Once you finish your curriculum of MRCOG, it is so designed that it prepares you for all 3 roles, right? So teacher, professional, and researcher. Roles are of obstetrician and gynecologist as per RCOG vision.
Hello?
Yeah. You want to say? You want to say something? Okay. So why MRCOG? So we were talking about why MRCOG. So all these 3 curriculums we have to cover, and this is what is included in the already included in the curriculum. Once you do a complete preparation through your 3 parts, it is there. Now, once you become a member, RCOG has a complete guidance for you. It helps you, supports you, advises you, and provides you throughout guidance. Okay. So you can get involved in the RCOG activities also. A complete world opens to you when you come into this arena. So what are you actually looking for? What a person, any clinician who comes here, what is he looking for? Okay. So he is trying to upgrade his knowledge. He's trying to become a better doctor by better understanding and a good patient safety, which is must nowadays. So RCOG focuses most on the evidence-based practice. So the patient safety is a very much important thing for RCOG. So that is one of the top priorities. So when you are trained through the RCOG way, that patient safety kind of thing seeps into you also. So your practice becomes more evidence-based, you are more academically sound, and you are more bothered about patient safety. Soft skills, which are very important, communication skills, which are very important in the present era, looking at litigations and everything all around. So as when you get trained with the RCOG, you are very much sound in your communication skills. So in this way, it helps in your day-to-day practice. What else a person can be looking for? Migration. Of course, this is a passport. You can migrate to UK, you can migrate to Middle East countries where this qualification is very well recognized, and you can simply move into these countries with this qualification. So if you are looking at a migration, this is really a very, very good route to follow. Fame, if you are looking for fame, yes. Once you become a better academician, once you are into a research, or once you are into like good teaching programs, of course, the fame is bound to come. Fame is nothing which we have to follow. Once you are good at work, things come back to you. So that is how the things are. Of course, when everything is better, how can finances be on a back end? They have to come when everything is fine. If you migrate, of course, it multiplies many times because your rupees gets converted into pounds or whatever your currency is. You start earning in pounds, and that too much higher. If you are working in corporates, they prefer taking up MRCOGs. If you are in your own practice, then your level of practice changes. So therefore, the finances has to improve. So anyway, you look at the bars down, anyway, it is a win-win situation. Another thing, MRCOG is also a route to MICOG, right? So MICOG, which is a membership of Indian College of Obs and Gynae, they require your 3 certificates of MRCOG, part 1, part 2, and part 3. When you submit your 3 certificates, they give you MICOG also. Now, isn't it, it seems something funny that you have to get 3 certificates of Royal College to get Indian College membership, but it's so. It's a reality, and it's so. So you through MRCOG, you can get your MICOG too. And the members admission ceremony. I must say this is the one thing which you would love to attend. It is very different type of ceremony. All the seniors or the senior members of college, they really stand to welcome you, and this is something which is like a heavenly experience. Once you will experience this, whatever hard work or whatever tears or whatever time you have put into this whole curriculum, you would really love each moment, and you would love that you have taken this decision. This is something which is very much worth attending, right? So this is how MRCOG helps. So now if you are convinced, welcome aboard on the MRCOG courses. Any questions till now? Anybody wants to clear anything? Okay, so we'll move on to, now we have decided that we want to do MRCOG. No, but none of you have any questions. So we want to do MRCOG. We are convinced. Now how to do MRCOG? So MRCOG exam, it's an exam. This is an exam with 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Part 1 is an exam which is in January and July. Sometimes they give a September diet also, but September diet is not a routine thing to happen. It is something sometimes given as an extra diet whenever they want to adjust the students. If students are more, they want to adjust some seats, then they give you the September date also. But the 2 basic timings are January and July. Then Part 2 exam, it is again January and July. Part 3 exam is May and November. Similarly, in Part 3, sometimes they give February diet also if they have to adjust candidates, right? So right now, January is over. So January exam was on 17th and 18th. 17th, it was Part 1 exam, and 18th was Part 2 exam. That is why now we are starting new batch for the July. Okay, so therefore, now we are focused on our July exam. And for Part 1 exam, 5-6 months is a pretty long period. You can easily do it, your Part 1 studies, if you just spare 30 minutes or 40 minutes daily for your studies. Whatever time you spend in your duties or anywhere, just take out 30 to 40 minutes. And with the type of modules I have created, you can even listen to these modules when you are in your like on the way to your work, or you are working in a kitchen or something like that. So you can listen to them then at that time also. So Part 1 exam you can easily cover in this much time. So Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, and finally we are going for the dream ceremony. Now what are the steps? So many of you have already submitted eligibility application, but many have still not. So therefore, these are the steps which I'm going to tell you. So this is the RCOG homepage link. Okay. I will post this link in the course group, Telegram course group also. So you just click on this link. Okay. Just copy this link and paste it on a Google and just click that. Okay. As you click, the first page of RCOG website will open up. This is the first page of RCOG website. Here you see this register and sign in. If you are first time going there, you have to register yourself. So you just click on the register. A page will open up which will ask you to enter your details, your name, your place, your address, from where you have done your MBBS, and in what year. Age is not a limit for MRCOG. Any age you can do MRCOG. Okay, so whatever year you have passed MBBS, that is not at all going to bother RCOG. Okay, they only want to know your college. And mind you, one very important thing, whatever name you are entering here for the register, okay, that should be there on your MBBS degree. Okay, so this name or your MBBS degree name should be same, and you should also have an ID with the similar name. Okay, if anywhere the name is different, like if your degree was of your pre-marriage time, you have a different surname, then you have to add a affidavit from the court that this is the same person, okay? And after marriage, her name is this. So you have to add that affidavit, okay? So this is very important because right now, when you submit your degree, they will check the name on the degree and the name you have written in the registration. Okay, so they will register you with the same name. Then finally, when you go for the exam, you will have to show your ID, like you show your passport or you show your Aadhaar card. So whatever your country's ID, because we have students from other countries also here, so they must be having their own country IDs. So name should be matching. Otherwise, they will not allow you to appear in the exam. So this is very, very important thing to note here for those who are registering now for the first time. Once you register with the college, you will get a college number. Now, once you get a college number, every time when you have to write anything to the college or whatever forms you fill, everything will need your college number, because now all the communication will be through your college number. That will become an account in which, like when you pass part 1, it will show that you have passed part 1. Then once you enter into part 2, that will show that now you have booked an exam for the part 2. So that will become your account. Now, once you have created your account, then in the search option, you go and click here and enter MRCOG Part 1 exam. Now, as the page of MRCOG Part 1 exam opens up, you will see a Part 1 eligibility form. This is the PDF here. You have to download this PDF. Either you fill it online or you can take a print, fill it up and scan it and send it to the part1 eligibility@rcog.org.uk. This is written there only in the form also. Okay, so you have to send the filled and scanned eligibility form along with your MBBS degree, right? So your MBBS degree has to be sent along with this. Okay, if the name is different on both, don't forget to add the affidavit, which shows that the same person is same. So this is known as submission of eligibility application. This takes time. This takes around 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, nearly you will get your response back. So don't wait for the response, because if you keep waiting for the response, then it will be almost March. And then it will be difficult to start preparations, right? So just send it, forget it, and start studying. Response will come in around 8 weeks. Next step, once you have done your eligibility application, then you will see another form, which is expression of interest form. So that you have to finally submit for receiving a booking link. If you submit that expression of interest form, that shows that you are interested in applying for July exam. So they will send you a booking link when booking window opens, which will open around March end or April. So at that time, you will receive a link, and through that link, you can then book your exam. So this is the calendar for the July exam. You see the part 1 eligibility deadline is 6th March, which means that you have to submit your application before 6th March. Mind you, please don't wait for the 6th March, okay? Fill it early as possible, so that if they require anything else, you have a time to send it back. Otherwise, if you send it on the last day, and then if they ask you something, then it may become late, okay? So send it as early as possible. Then expression of interest, this closes on 16th March, so you have to fill it prior to that. And booking window application opens on 27th April. So if you have filled your expression of interest and you have done your eligibility, then you will receive a booking token on 27th April. You will receive a link, and on the link you will click, and then you have to choose your center and pay RCOG fees for the exam, so that you book your seat. Then finally, the exam is there on 4th July and results will be released on 1st August. So this is how the July exam is going to be there. Now talking about the syllabus for part 1 exam. So part 1 exam is like exam which has all MBBS subjects like your anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, pathology. So everything is there. So basically it is a written exam with all questions single best answers. Okay, so there are single best answers which you have to tick, and all these subjects will be included in part 1. What is the format of exam? There are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Total marks will be 50% will be from the part 1 and 50% marks will be from the part 2. So both are then summed up to make your final percentage. And this is a computer-based test. You cannot attempt it from the home, but you have centers. There are Pearson VUE centers where you have to go and give this test online. So you have to do this in a computer-based manner. This is how paper 1 and paper 2, 2.5 hours duration is there, and in 150 minutes you have to do 100 single best answers. Then you have a lunch break which is 30 minutes to 1 hour depending on various centers. And then there is a second paper which is again 2.5 hours with 150 minutes, and number of questions are 100. So single best answers are there. This is a single best answer example. So this, like this, there is a stem which is given and then they ask a question. So in this case, like they have given you a scenario of a 25-year-old lady. She is into 27 weeks into her second pregnancy, feeling unwell with backache, fever and rigors. She has temperature and her urine analysis shows leukocytes and protein. Blood pressure is 80/50. What action is most appropriate? So you have to choose one option from this. Now you see that she is in a septic shock, 80/50. So patient has to be admitted into ICU and HDU. So A will be the best answer here. So you have to understand the concept of single best answers. Again, this is an example of single best answer. Regarding CTG analysis, what is the accepted normal range for variability? So it is, normal range is 5 to 15 beats per minute. So like this, you have to practice answering the questions. This is what subjects are included in paper 1 and paper 2. So paper 1 subjects are anatomy, biochemistry, embryology, endocrinology, epidemiology, statistics, genetics, and physiology. For paper 2, the subjects are biophysics, clinical management, data interpretation, immunology, microbiology, pathology, and pharmacology. So this is how the subjects are divided in both the papers. Now look at this pie diagram. This is very much important to understand what is the importance of any particular subject. Like you see here that anatomy is a big subject. It has around 15 to 20 questions in the exam. Endocrinology is another big chunk here. So you see the endocrinology also has large number of questions. But embryology, biochemistry, they are small subjects. So how this helps? When we will be studying, we'll divide our time accordingly. If any subject you have more number of questions, you will spend more time on it. Any subject which has less number of questions, we'll spend less time on it. Okay. So like this, we plan our curriculum depending on what is the chunk we are going to get from any particular subject. In this part 2, paper 2, if you see that this data interpretation, pathology, they are big chunks. So this is a very, very important subjects from this particular paper. Biophysics is a small subject. So of course you see a small chunk here. So this particular distribution of marks, this makes you work smarter. Okay. What is the purpose of course? We have to make work easy for you, right? So we have to work smarter. We have to achieve more in less time. So that is what this all going through this charts and knowing how much number of questions appear from what subjects, that helps in planning for the various subjects. What are the difficult modules which can bring you down? So paper 1, statistics. I think everybody would be scared of looking at this. But mind you, once you go through our module of statistics, you will score 100% in statistics. Statistics is a very beautiful subject and you can score it like maths, okay? So 15, 20 questions, you can really score like 100%. So that increases your percentage a lot and also increase your chances of passing the exam. Never think of leaving any subject, okay? You cannot leave any subject. We have to cover all subjects. Only thing is we have to cover them smartly. So statistics, endocrinology, and genetics, these are the subjects which bring people down in paper 1. And in paper 2, clinical management and data interpretation. Actually, what happens is we all have been practicing gynecology, so we know how to manage. If I ask you, a patient is there in a abdominal uterine bleeding, you know that how to manage that patient. But here you have to answer from the RCOG guidelines. According to what RCOG says that this is the right answer. So what RCOG evidence-based practice says, you have to answer them accordingly. So therefore, if you have not read the guidelines properly, or if anybody has not read the guidelines properly, then he will answer according to his clinical experience, which is right here, but not in front of RCOG. So therefore, these subjects create a problem in part 2 if you are not well versed with the guidelines. Long list of books is being recommended by the RCOG. You can see the list here. This is directly I have taken from the RCOG website. So how do you feel looking at this long list? Don't worry. Here comes the MRCOG course mentors. So what we do for you is we have created small videos for all small topics. We give you those small videos, you go through those videos, okay? Like I'm going to start anatomy right now from tomorrow. So I'll give you a small video like anterior abdominal wall video, posterior abdominal wall video. Then you will have a video about the pelvis, a video about the perineum. So these are small videos. You can listen to them on the go, okay? And then we practice questions simultaneously in our Telegram groups. Then we do a live session. We come together, we interact, we cover up whatever is remaining, and we solve questions together. Okay, so that we actually summarize the whole subject so that everything is covered in that particular subject. All the summaries are provided to you. You have notes, so you can read those notes, which saves a lot of your time. And then you have assessments to do. So after you have listened to videos, we have done a live session, we have done question practice, you have what material you have to read, you have done all this in the next 10-15 days, then I give you an assessment, okay? So you take up that assessment, do it, and then you find where do you stand. Whatever issues you have, whatever questions you are confused, we can discuss them and solve them together. So this way, for every subject, we keep on going and we cover all subjects. Only these 2 books are recommended for reading by us. Actually, not 2 also, only this book is important. Revision notes for MRCOG part 1. I'll be sharing the book PDF in the Telegram group. Already, I think also is there, but I'll share it again. So soft copy is there. If you are good at reading from the hard copy, you can take out its printout. So from here, this is the basic book. This is, I would say, the Bible of MRCOG part 1. So this is the book which you have to follow. This is a big book, huge book, revision guide. This is a huge book, okay? Don't read it cover to cover. You don't need to read it, okay? So just keep it there because sometimes you want to go into depth of something to understand that thing. So you can use this as a reference book, Its soft copy is also provided in the group. So you don't have to go and buy anything. And don't take out the printout of this book. This is a huge book, okay? It's a book and you don't have to read this completely. So don't go for the print of this, okay? Only this book, how much you can read is okay. Otherwise, whatever notes, whatever summaries we are giving to you, that is more than enough. So how course prepares you for the beautiful destination? So first, we start with listening to uploaded videos. Then we have a daily question practice. We do a live session. Then we do a practice. And then finally, we can achieve our goal. So this is the route which we are going to follow. So for the anatomy, from tomorrow, we are starting the videos. So 27th, you will receive a video which will have all these contents. 29th, you will receive another video. 31, you will receive this third video. Video session 4, you will get it on 2nd February. Video session 5, 4th. So you see that I'm giving you on the alternate days. So if you have to spend 40 minutes on the alternate day, okay? So you can just spend 20 minutes on one day. So like this, very small, I just ask you 30 minutes. You have to spend only 30 minutes in a day for the studies, okay? Just give me 30 minutes and I'll give you success. Okay, so video session 4, 2nd February, then video session 5, this is pelvis and perineum. And finally, we have a live session on 6th February. Whenever we start any subject, I will give you the date of live session. Live sessions will be at 9 p.m. India time, mostly. And I will give you date and time as we start any subject. So that if at all possible, you want to adjust your duties, you can adjust your duties. Try to be there on a live session. It helps because when you practice live questions, that helps a lot. Assessment, final assessment will be on 9th February. So this is like I've given you an example of how I am going to cover each and every subject, right? So in similar way, we will be covering up all subjects. For smaller subject, we'll spend less days. For bigger subjects, we will spend more days. How you can get maximum from this? Try to be with the schedule. Like if we are completing it on 9th anatomy, try to finish it with us. Try to be consistent by taking out 30-45 minutes every day. Try to participate in group practice as much as possible. Listen to videos and read summary PDF which are provided to you. Solve all your questions by posting in group or asking in live sessions. If you have any difficulty understanding anything, if you have any confusion, do clear it, okay? Don't just take the information and mug it up. Please try to clear it because in exam, language will not be same, okay? You will have the same point. They will ask you the same thing in the exam, but with a different language. So if you try to mug up, you will be confused in exam. But if you have a concept, you will be able to apply the rule there and you will solve the question. So this is how we are going to practice. And since we all are working, we all have families, so many things come in between. So we are together as a team, as a family. This group helps as a coping strategy. So I'm not going to tell you to get over it. I'm going to help you get through it because nobody can leave the family or the duty and just read MRCOG. We have to take MRCOG along with our families and our duties. So the group support helps a lot through it. Any questions from your side? You are most welcome to ask. So 100% from my side. And of course, I would like to have 100% from your side, which will make a celebration of 100. Okay, so any questions, you can unmute yourself and speak up.
Ma'am, when we have to send the expression of interest form?
It is 16th March is the last date. Any time before that, you can do it.
Now also we can send it.
Yes, definitely.
And one more thing I wanted to ask. in July in India, where exam will be conducted? In
It is
Delhi?
conducted at multiple centers. Okay, so you can, when you get a booking link, you will open up the booking link, you will see all centers there. You can choose the center of your convenience. Since it is now computer-based test, so it is conducted all over India in many cities.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
for
Yeah.
July, should I apply this eligibility criteria?
If you have done once your eligibility, if anybody has once done the eligibility, then you don't have to reapply every time. Okay. But those who have not done any time, they have to do it. Once you do eligibility, it's fine. But expression of interest, you have to submit every time whenever you have to appear. Like if you have filled it for the January, but you did not appear in exam, you will have to refill it for the July exam. But eligibility, once done, is done. You don't have to do it again.
Expression of
Anything? Yeah. Yes,
expression
sir.
of interest has not come. No, only eligibility criteria mark 16.
Expression of interest is also there in the same, when you open up MRCOG part 1 page and you look for the expression of interest, form is there. You can submit it anytime.
Okay, say March 16th is the cutoff.
Yeah, March 16 is the last date. If you submit expression of interest after that, then you will be considered for the next exam, not for the July exam. Any more questions from anyone?